Hello everyone, hope you guys doing good, and in this video we are going to discuss about priorities when we take CIA triad, which is when we compare it to IT and OT, what are the priorities in OT environment. So this slide deck has two pictures. The left half I have taken from 62443 3-3, that is clause 4, and right half is the CIA triad, which is like inverted compared to the IT infrastructure or IT environment. So when we say priorities, this is very important topic to understand in across all three phases of IACS life cycle. So priorities have to be maintained consistently in assessment phase, design and implementation phase, as well as maintenance phase. And when we touch upon the topic of priorities, this enables to understand the major differences between IT and OT environment. So it's very critical to understand these differences between IT and OT environment. Accordingly, we have to specify the priorities, again, as per zones and conduits. So in all the videos, I'm going to touch upon all these topics, and this has to be across your foundational requirements, your zones and conduits, and across all the three phases of IACS lifecycle. So priorities. When it comes to priorities, 62443 specifically mentions that if you are implementing any controls in OT environment, that shall not disturb or disable the functionality and safety, including the communication criticality or time criticality in the communication protocols, specifically concerned to the safety environment. And here in left half of this slide deck, if you see, the support of essential functions is very clearly mentioned. Two FRs are brought out very clearly because they make bulk of the requirements, that is your FR1 and FR2. FR1 is your identification and authentication control. FR2 is your use control, that is your authorization. Both of them together make 25 controls in 62443 3-3, and they make bulk of the controls. So specifically, if you are, and both of them together are also called as access control. So if you are implementing access control, FR1 and FR2, in fact, any of the FRs out of 7, then you must take care of this particular aspect, that is support of essential functions and safety instrumented systems or safety instrumented functions. If any of the cybersecurity controls is negatively impacting these properties, that is functionality and safety, then we must think before we implement the control. It is not suggested as per 62443. They have to be modified, or some other compensatory control can be employed so that our cybersecurity aspects are satisfied and support of essential functions are also taken care. When we take CIA triad, availability and integrity takes top priority. Together, it is just not availability, as we say many of the times. We see many of the times that just availability is on top and integrity and confidentiality at the bottom. No, in my aspect, the triangle has to be inverted. Why? Because availability and integrity are very closely associated with each other. When we are certifying a device for, let's say, in safety, that is safety integrity level, we check availability through integrity. Example, fuzzing. We use tools like Voltec Defensix, Voltec Achilles, and Defensix Coordinator. And these tools have a couple of hundreds of thousands of use cases to check the integrity and integrity of the communication protocols. So if we compromise the integrity of the communication protocols, we can bring down the availability of the device. So availability is the system availability or the component availability, and the integrity of the communication protocols. Both are equally important. In some cases, we are not able to secure the integrity of information in transit. because of the very nature of the protocols, example Modbus TCP. In that case, the concept of zones and conduits have to be employed correctly, and they have to be secured in defense in depth architecture. In OT environment, it is not always possible that we go device by device and protocol by protocol to ensure the availability and integrity is at the highest level. Not possible. That's why the security levels, the concept of security levels is applied over a zone, not on a device or not on a particular system. It includes all the devices, combined capability of all the devices and systems in the zone can contribute to the security level target of that particular zone or conduit. Confidentiality is definitely an important concept here, which we to take care. But because of the very nature of the functionality and the requirement of the environment, many times we don't give or we give a lot of laxity here when it comes to confidentiality. Example, we might not have passwords on few of the HMIs which are taking care of alarms and events. That's very important, because any operator in the control room shall operate this HMI without any restrictions and within that given time. The response should be quick. If you, in the panic, if you forget a password, and if you have implemented a policy where if you type or if you input a password 3 times, which is wrong password, then the HMI will lock out or the system will lock out for 10 minutes. It can act in a bad manner. It is a disastrous for the functionality and safety of the environment. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we will bring out the critical differences between IT and OT. Again, those differences are coming out of the priorities in IACS. So priorities have to be set across all the 3 phases of IACS lifecycle, across foundational requirements, on all the zones and conduits. Right. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.